Hello and welcome to another video from Money's Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we're looking at something that is now very old, is very rare and has become incredibly collectible. We are looking at the 1964 release by D C Thompson from their Dandy annuals, which was titled The Dandy Book. And this is the 1965 version, which was released in late 64 for the upcoming 1965 year. Now, the Dandy Book was renamed the Dandy Book in 1952. Originally, it was the Dandy Monster comic book, and that ran from 38 to 51. But then they just renamed it as the Dandy Book in 1952. And it is run ever since. There's been an annual every year. And up until 2024, there was 87 editions of the annual. And the annuals featured popular characters like Korky the Cat and Desperate Dan throughout the run of the annuals, which I believe is probably one of the Dandy and the Beano are probably the longest running annuals in the history of comics. So yeah, let me go for a very long time. Anyway, this is the annual in front of us. As I say, this is a 1965 annual, which was released in late 64. This is the front of the book. It says the Dandy Book, and it says this is a horse laugh, haw haw yelp. And as you can see, the horse is stamped on Korky's tail, and it's got Korky the Cat on the left hand side there. And it says, "But a cat laugh is louder, ho ho ho." He's put itching powder inside the outfit. Okay, so that's the front of the book. Let's just turn it over to the back. And on the back, we've got an episode of Desperate Dan. And it says, "Desperate Dan, want to laugh? Watch me get Desperate Dan out of bed in a hurry. Hi, Dan. Come quick. A lion on your doorstep. A lion? I must get downstairs quick before it kills someone. This is the quickest way. Oh, no, I'm going too fast to stop. Thud. Where is it? Where's the lion? There ain't no lion. It was only the milkman's joke. But he was right. A lion on your doorstep was what he said. And there he is, a lion on your doorstep." So there we are. A little joke there from Desperate Dan at the back. Okay, and that's just the spline. It says the Dandy Book. Okay, so that is the book. Let's open it up and let's have a look at the contents. Okay, so I've opened the annual, and this is what we got on the inside. So you can see you got Korky Cat blowing up a balloon with a face on it. And you got the mice jumping onto the balloon here. He sees it being blown here, and he's jumping on it here. And you see the mice hiding behind the mouse hole there. And in the bottom notice, you'll notice the original purchase price, which is 7 shillings and sixpence. Back in 1965, so it was before we went decimalised, when we're still using old money. Okay, it says the Dandy Book, and again there's Korky, and he's hung a few photographs, and the mice are there hanging their own photographs. And it says the Dandy Book. And it says this book belongs to, and there's a slot there for you to put your name and address, and you can see Korky is holding a version of this particular annual. And it says printed and published by D C Thompson's Co. Limited, John Leng and Company Limited, 12 Feather Lane, Fleet Street, London, EC4. And here we have the very first story, which is called Diamond Dick. And it is a monocolour story. And it runs for 5 pages, 6, 7 pages. Oh, there's some great artwork on here. 8, 9, 10, 11. So it runs for 11 pages, but really, really good artwork in there. For 1965, it's fabulous. And then we get on to the first of the Korky Cat episodes, and it says, "It must be a happy day for Joe. There are 16 penguins saying so. Korky the Cat." And there you can see Korky the Cat with the penguins. Next one is Big Head, Thick Head. Chuckles in the sky when 2 nits try to fly. And this is a 4 page comic strip. Again, all of these are in monocolour. And then we've got the Smasher. Why is Smasher like a vacuum? Bath are suckers in the end. Both are suckers in the end. Okay, there we go. You see Dennis the Menace is there. And then we've got the 9 Faces of Winker Watson, which is a double page spread of Winker himself with all his different looks. Then we've got an episode of Sunny Boy, he's a bright spark. And then we've got the Beatless, which are probably a take on the Beatles, I would imagine. And again, that is a comic strip which runs for 4 pages. Corporal Clot, there we are, which is a 2-page short comic strip. And then we've got the first of Desperate Dan's episodes. Dan is up to scratch, new style pants and gloves to match. And again, it's in monocolour, and that's 1 page. And then we've got the 9 Faces of Korky, which is all Korky's different look. And then we go on to Big Head and Thick Head, which is a short comic strip story. And then we're on to Winker Watson, and that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The artwork is fabulous on this. 5, 6, 7, 8-page comic strip. And then we go back to another Korky one, A Tale of Woe that started with a whiz-bang hammer throw, Korky the Cat. And there we go. So that is just a 1-page spread. And then we got the 9 Faces of Corporal Clot, another main character in the series. The Lad Who Is Smart at Landing Folk in the Cart, and that is Dirty Dick. Another short Korky the Cat. And then we got another Corporal Clot. And then we're on to Rocket Jock, which is another story. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at the artwork. I mean, it's fabulous. 6, 7, 8, 9. 9-page spread, that one. And then we're back to a few of the short ones. Hula Blue. Caused by you-know-who, Sunny Boy. He's a bright spark. And then Big Head and Thick Head, which is a couple of pages. And then we got Dirty Dick. And then we've got another episode of Desperate Dan, Angry Hoots about busted boots. And then we got Big Head and Thick Head, which is 2 pages. Another episode of The Smasher. And then we got 9 Faces of Sunny Boy. Another Korky Cat. See how Korky wits when he's raided by mice in kilts. Winker Watson. Again, another comic strip, which is 4 pages. Another Corporate Clot. And then we got the 9 Faces of Smasher. Moving on, Big Head, Thick Head, and another Desperate Dan, which is a 2-pager. And then we've got the £1 Million Boys. And this is a 1, 2, 3, 4-page strip. And then another Korky the Cat. A bank on the dome makes him sprout a poem. Strawberries grow low down on the ground and coconuts high in a tree. I wish it were the other way round and strawberries had crowned me. Corporal Clot. And there we've got a 2-page episode there. And we've got Joe White and the 7 Dwarfs. Joe White as a set of Snow Whites. There we go. And that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9-page comic strip. And then we got another Korky. To jump like Korky is an art, finishing right back at the start, and it's Korky the Cat, ski jump start. And there he goes, lands on his backside. 9 Faces of Dirty Dick, again all the different images of that character. And then we got Big Head and Thick Head, which is another short strip. And we're followed by the Crimson Ball. And that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, the artwork is fabulous in this book, I must say. So that's 7 pages strip there. And then we've got another short comic, The Smasher, with Rod and Line. Smasher's doing fine. And we've got another Korky the Cat. Lift boys one and all, take heed. See how Korky grabbed a feed. This is page 109. And then we got 9 Faces of Desperate Dan. All Dan's lovely looks. And then we got Sunny Boy, he's a bright spark. And another Dirty Dick, which is a 2-page strip. Big Head and Thick Head, which is a 2-pager again. And then we got The Secret of Kate Lindsay's Cottage, And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-page strip. Again, fantastic artwork. And then we're on to another episode of The Smasher, how Smasher the Basher became Smasher the Bashed. And then we got 9 Faces of Thickhead, followed by another episode of Korky the Cat and Sonny Boy is a Bright Spark. Then we got the 9 Faces of Colonel Grumbly, another Smasher, and then we've got the Red Wrecker, and that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that artwork, fabulous. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-page strip. And then we've got Desperate Dan. The cards are posted, no doubt, but how can Posty get them out? And there we go. That brings us to the end. And there you can see the follow-up from the front of the annual, where the mouse has jumped onto the balloon that Korky's blowing up, and the balloon pops away, and Korky blows out the air, blowing the mice away. Okay, so that is the end of the annual, and there's an awful lot of content in there. Lots of stories and lots of comic strips, as you would expect from the Dandy book. So, the old age question, how well did this book do back in 1964? Well, back in 1964, annuals were huge. There was no streaming services or videos or DVDs or anything like that. So you only had your 3 terrestrial channels, and your comics really were what would keep you occupied. So comics were very, very big, and obviously you had a comic come out each week. There was loads and loads of different comics back in the days, and they'd come out weekly, and you would have your weekly comic. And then at the end of the year, they would produce an annual, and this obviously is the Dandy book annual from 1964 for the upcoming 65 year. So, yeah, I mean, they were extremely popular. They were mass produced because everybody who was anybody had an annual of some kind. It was staple diet for your Christmas stockings or your Christmas sacks when you woke up on Christmas morning. Everybody, every kid in the entire country had at least one annual in their sack. So it was a massive, massive thing. Obviously, times have changed somewhat since then, but back then annuals were huge. And really, I mean, annuals right up until the probably early 80s were massive. I mean, they still produce annuals now, but they're very different to the ones that we had back in the day, and they are nowhere near the quantities that were produced back in the day as well. A massive line for the comic book manufacturers was when they done their annuals. So not just comic books, but also the TV tie-ins as well. The annual manufacturers were constantly busy. They were producing millions and millions and millions of annuals. So yes, they done remarkably well, and everyone who was anybody had annuals at the Christmas morning, and the Dandy book was no exception. And the reason they were released at that time was because that was the big selling time. So as I say, because everybody had bought annuals for their kids at Christmas. Okay, let's move forward 60 years, 61 years in actual fact since this came out. Do these annuals appear very often on the platforms? Well, you do get a lot of Dandy books on the platforms, some more than others. Later ones appear a lot more regular than the early ones. Now, this one is not overly early, considering it started in 1938, but this is a 1965 book, and it is in absolutely fabulous condition. If you bear in mind that these annuals weren't made to last, they were something that you were given to, just like the comics. They were there, to be read, done with what have you, kept in your bookshelf for a while, maybe passed down, and then ended up being thrown away, because that's what they were. They weren't collector's items then. There wasn't such things as collector's items back in those days, and not in toys and books in any case. So, yeah, they weren't made to last. But so Some of these older ones you don't see very often on the platforms for simply those reasons that I've just mentioned. They do occasionally pop up in various different state of conditions, and if you are looking to buy one of these on a platform, do be very, very careful. A lot of them use stock photographs, and you could be looking at an annual in fabulous condition like this one is, and you could be buying one that's in very poor condition. So just do be very careful. Cheapest is not always the best. So if you are looking to buy these, click on the use button and read the contents of the books that are available, because they will show you, a lot of them show you images of the actual book, and a lot of them, well, they all give you a brief description of what the quality of the book is like. So do be careful, otherwise you could end up with something that you don't want. However, well, we at Midas Touch, we don't believe in stock photographs, so what you see on our website is exactly the item that you will be purchasing. And this particular item, the Dandy book, is the one that you will see on our website, and it is currently available to purchase as of today. And you can get to the website very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight there, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Dandy books and many other vintage toys, gaming collectibles. Come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on our website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there is something in particular you're looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful old Dandy book with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.